Good day to you. It's probably really hard to see because it's a hazy day, but right over my shoulder there, above that little outhouse there, which is on the property of the Sigma Pi fraternity, just above that is a smokestack for ESU. Yeah, ESU is just a couple blocks from my house. That's where I'm standing. And actually, if you were to follow that line of sight and continue going past ESU, just keep going. Just continue going all the way to New Jersey and then just keep going across the Atlantic Ocean. Just keep going. Just keep going, keep going. You will come to where I was last week. I was in Madrid, Spain. I was in Madrid, Spain as I make my way around to the back of the house, where, among other things, on television, I saw there a tarot card reader. A tarot card reader. You know what tarot card readers do, right? They predict the future, they tell you about your past. Some people, myself included in this category, don't believe that what they do is real, but it's an acknowledged art form. That's the way I think about it. But here's that on television in Spain. And I wonder to myself, why is that? Well, number one, you have to have an audience big enough to be interested in that kind of programming. That's interesting to me. And also, I know that tarot card readers do have a cultural history based in Roma culture. Do you know about Roma culture? They're also called pejoratively gypsies. They're also called gypsies of Europe. They go around, a lot of them are based in Romania, Roma, and they have a tradition of circuses, and they have a tradition of tarot card reading and other things. And I just thought that was interesting, and it's one of the reasons that I like to travel, and it's one of the reasons that I teach this course, Comparative Media. Allow me to introduce myself then. My name is Rob McKenzie. Rob McKenzie, I'm a professor at ESU. This is my 30th year at ESU. I'm also the department chairperson. I'm chairperson of the Department of Communication, where we have both a Bachelor of Arts degree, a 4-year degree, and we have a master's degree. We have a master's degree, a 15-month program, unless you get it shortened by entering our accelerated program, which you can do in your senior year at ESU, and then you shorten the master's degree to just 1 year. And actually, this course, Comparative Media, has a graduate version. I teach a graduate version of it in the summer. So welcome to this course. And my introduction was designed to set up for us the possibilities that exist out there. I just mentioned tarot card readers, but we're going to be getting into so many more examples. And hey, if you haven't traveled, don't worry. I didn't start traveling until I was 22 years old, and then I got to see a lot of the world, including this summer, some new countries for the first time, Ecuador, Portugal. I didn't really start traveling, though, until I was 22 years old. And there are, after all, 200 countries in the world. There are about 200 countries in the world. And just think for a moment about how many you might visit before you finish your dance on this earth, so to speak. How many of those 200 countries, most people, they get to go to just a handful of those countries. And what a shame, but not necessarily when it comes to media, because we can still study media from those countries, and that's what we're going to be doing in this class, Comparative Media. We're going to be looking at media from a whole range of countries across the world, this magnificent planet, this magnificent globe that we have, full of so many different cultures and peoples and media. That's what we're studying in this class. Comparative Media, it's a class that I designed many years ago for East Stroudsburg University. I designed both the undergraduate version and the graduate version of this course. I felt that it was fundamental to students in the broadcasting concentration having an experience in international media. And in fact, I've made it my signature course throughout the years here, to the extent that I've actually taught it overseas in many countries. I believe that I have taught more classes, this particular class, overseas in other countries than any other ESU professor. I've taught this class, for example, in China. I've taught it in England 3 times. I've taught it in Sweden 3 times. I've taught it in France twice, St. Croix once, Puerto Rico once, the Dominican Republic once, Mexico once, China once. I think I've covered all of the countries I've taught it in. And when I've taught this class, I've sometimes taken my students to Canada on field trips to Montreal. And so I have a love of exposing my students to media from around the world is really what it comes down to. That's why I love teaching this class, and I hope I'm able to impart that to you as well. What I'll be doing in the remainder of this intro video is I'm going to be getting to the syllabus shortly here. Before that, I want to say a few words about my academic credentials, and then I'm going to have a different kind of introduction, which you also will be participating in as well, and that's the next item that I'll be covering. That's going to be assigning your introductions, and also going along with that is asking a question about my curriculum vitae. That's also what I'll be talking about in this video. And then finally, we'll be wrapping up with telling you about your first assignment, and really your first two assignments, which is to record your intro video by tomorrow, and then also to select a country that you're going to be studying all semester long in terms of its media system. You and you alone will be studying that country. All right, so yeah, let me reverse and go back to what I want to say, a few more words about myself. I would like you to know that I am the Department Chair of Communication, and I do really love the part of my job that has to do with advising students. If you have any questions whatsoever about the major, about the minor, about the accelerated program, or about the master's degree, please don't hesitate to ask me. We do have 4 concentrations. Most of our students today, I think it's safe to say, are actually doing 2 concentrations. It only adds an extra 4 courses to your time here at ESU and then gives you an extra credential. So a lot of people are doing those 2 concentrations instead of just 1. And that also means they don't have 30 unfocused credits at the end of their time here, not just taking random classes. Our 4 concentrations, by the way, are the largest is broadcasting, and that's followed by public relations, and that's followed by media studies, and then that's followed by public communication and advocacy. If you want to know about any of those courses, please don't hesitate to ask me. So I am the department chair. I'm glad to help you that way. I also am the advisor, the university advisor is my formal title, to WESS Radio. WESS Radio is not just a college radio station, it is the best college radio station in the whole country. That's what MTV said when we won the Woody Award. I've got the Woody Award in my office. Come by and see it. It's the MTV Woody Award. It goes to the best college radio station in the whole country. That's because WESS offers a diversified format, and it's run by students. That's really what it comes down to. It's a great place. I have a radio show myself, Tuesday nights, the Stones Hour. Have that radio show from 6 to 7 p.m. You can have a radio show if you want. You can have a sports show. You can have a talk show. Many different kinds of music shows you could have. So I want to tell you about that as well. If you want to know more about WESS Radio, I'll be very happy to introduce you to the staff, give you a tour. I hold office hours at the radio station, so I'm happy to take you on a tour. I hold those hours on Tuesdays there. So I want to let you know about that. I also want to let you know I am the acting graduate coordinator for the department, so I do recruit students for our master's degree. I also have a hand in hiring 2 graduate assistants. Those are students that get either a full tuition break or a partial tuition break, and then they also work for the department for some hours per week. So I'm very happy to talk about the master's degree. I'm very happy to talk about the accelerated program, how you get into the master's degree as an undergraduate student. I can also talk to you about those things. Also, I want to let you know I'm the internship coordinator for the department. I advise students on where to be placed for internships. You have to do an internship as required for the broadcasting concentration. We strongly suggest that you do an internship for public relations in that concentration. And the other 2 concentrations, if you want to do one, we're all for it. And lots of students actually do more than 1 internship. They do 2 internships. You get college credit. It's CMST 486. You can get anywhere up to 12 credits of internship credits, 486. All right, so those are different jobs that I have in the department. And I also want to just tell you that I'm a professor as well. And I like to talk to my students about ideas. And so if there are ideas that interest you, this did become my strongest research area in my career. And it's an area that I published quite a bit in. Then I'm very, very happy for you to ask me those questions. And actually, I'm going to force you to do that kind of in a way, because now I want to talk about the first assignment. I'll mention it now. It seems to fit in right now. Is I want you to look at my CV, also known as a curriculum vitae. My CV, my curriculum vitae, is on D2L under the Content tab. And I want you to skim through it. It's got a lot of info on it, line by line. I don't want you to go through everything unless you want to. I want you to just skim it and see what my credentials are so that you know what my background is as a teacher, as a professor, as a professional, as a person. I want you to see what I've been interested in writing about through my life. I want you to see some of the experiences that I've had. I want you to see my international experiences, my parents being British, I want you to see that kind of stuff coming through on my curriculum vitae and me working in Britain for a few summers as a temporary teacher. I would like you to see stuff like that. And then what I want you to do is I want you to ask me a question about anything on the curriculum vitae. I want to know what stands out to you. I'm always interested in what stands out about my background that I can answer a question about or have a little dialogue with a student about. So you're going to do that on D2L. You're going to do that under the discussions tab, and that's going to be due, as all assignments are in this class, by 5 p.m. tomorrow. So 5 p.m. tomorrow, which is to say Wednesday, you're going to need to pose a question. You're going to need to pose a question on D2L under the discussions tab, asking me a question that's related to what you've read about on my CV. And then, of course, I'm going to answer that question. And everybody's going to see everybody's questions, and everybody's going to see everybody's answers. Okay, so that's one assignment that I want to tell you about. Okay, I also want to, while I'm doing the assignments, tell you about your second assignment for the course. And that is, I want you also by 5 o'clock tomorrow to go on to D2L under the link that's there, and I want you to select a country. To select a country, this is a country that you and you alone, if a country has already been selected by somebody, don't put that country down. So if somebody selects Ireland, it's too late. Somebody already has that country if you want it. You have to choose another country. Everybody chooses a different country. I am a little bit more, shall we say, lenient when it comes to some of the assignments for those of you who choose a country that I know is difficult to get information out of, like Saudi Arabia, for example. You want to choose that country, or Russia, go for it. I do not want to deny you if you have an interest in those countries' media systems and choosing those countries. But the fact is, it is not so easy to get information on those countries. So I do have a little bit of latitude when I examine the work that students turn in for those kinds of countries. But you'll choose a country. Yeah, if you haven't noticed by now, I'm getting bombed by mosquitoes the whole lecture here. If you haven't chosen a country by 5 o'clock tomorrow, then you'll still be able to choose a country, but that's the deadline. 5 o'clock tomorrow, Wednesday, choose a country. Get there first. Get the country that you want to be studying all semester long. We're going to be applying concepts from the readings to that country. You're going to need to develop sources of information about that country's media system that you're going to need to go dig into to come up with answers to some of the assignments in this class. I'll be getting to that shortly. Okay, so choose a country by tomorrow. Those are your 2 assignments for tomorrow. Okay, you need to, there's one more. Those are 2 of the 3 assignments. So the 2 are to ask a question about my CV, okay, then to select a country, and then also finally to post a 2-minute introduction video of yourself, a 2-minute intro video. Try not to make it 4 minutes, please. 2 minutes, somewhere around there, 2 minutes introduction video. I want you to answer the questions that I posted on D2L. I want you to post that video. That's going to go under the discussions tab. That's where that's going to go. So you're going to post a video introducing yourself, and then everybody's going to watch everybody's introduction videos, and then everybody's going to make a comment about everybody's intro videos. So everybody in the class is going to be making a comment on your intro video, whatever they want to say. It's freewheeling. It's all about coming together as a group of people, even though we're online. It's about genuinely getting to know others and the interesting things about people. People are so interesting, and we want to make sure that we can bring out some of that in this class. So that's your 3rd assignment. You got 3 assignments by 5 o'clock tomorrow. Okay, you got to ask a question about my CV. You got to select a country. You got to post your intro video. Okay, so that takes us now to the course. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of what's required for you. If you want to bring up the syllabus, it's under the Content tab. It's under the Content tab. You can grab it on D2L. That syllabus is right there for you. The syllabus for comparative media. Let's start at the top. Rob McKenzie. I'm perfectly happy with being called Rob or Robert or Professor McKenzie or Dr. McKenzie. All of those I'm fine with. I do have a PhD. My doctorate is from Penn State University. I actually wrote it in international broadcasting. My dissertation was not specifically in that. It was on how radio stations in Pennsylvania use technology to gather news. You'll see that on my CV. But most of my coursework was comparing international broadcasting. So you're getting my strong suit is what I'm trying to say here. My PhD is from Penn State. My MA is also from Penn State, both in communication. But I would like you to know that my Bachelor of Arts degree is in history. It's in history from Millersville University. I was a Bachelor of Arts history major, and I really, really thank history. It delivers so many things for me today, like watching that video of the tarot card reader. I knew instinctively that there was a much deeper cultural meaning or reason behind why you would have that kind of program, and it was recalling the Roma heritage that I studied as a history major. It just comes up my history degree. My office hours this semester, my email's there for you, and my phone number. Let me just say a couple words about those. Phone is not that great. I got to wait to get it in the office, or it has to be forwarded to me. Email, I answer those messages usually lickety-split several times a day. That mosquito got that one. So I will answer those email messages very quickly. That's the best way to get in touch with me. My office hours, if you want to meet with me this semester, are as follows. Mondays and Wednesdays will be only by phone. The procedure will be to contact Marina Cameron, our department secretary, at the email address that you see right there on the syllabus, and set up a phone appointment. You'll leave your phone number with her. It's be on my calendar, and then I'll call you. So that's how we meet on Mondays and Wednesdays. Tuesday, I'm available 11 to 12 p.m. in Monroe. Personally, physically in Monroe. You'll have to wear a mask if you come to my office. Tuesday, other hours, 12 to 1 and 6 to 7, I'll be in the WESS radio facility in the McGarry building. It's right next to Monroe. It's another brick building. And I'll be on the second floor up there. You just come up the second floor and you'll find me. So I'll be there 6 to 7. I have to look at the calendar because I have to prop the doors to see who's coming from 6 to 7. And if you come 6 to 7, that's actually when I have my radio show, my Stones Hour. And you can see a little bit of what it's like to see a radio show. I can show you what it's like if you're interested in becoming a disc jockey or a host or a news reporter, etc., etc. Okay, then we got Wednesdays. Wednesdays, again, it's 11 to 1, only by phone. Then Thursdays, we've got 11 to 1, and these are my 1 2-block hour in one place in Monroe, 322, 11 to 1. You can meet me there in person. All meetings, again, have to be scheduled with Marina Cameron. Okay, there's one book for this class, although you're going to be doing other readings for our research paper. This is a 400 level class. This is a research class. So we will be researching in this class. But for now, the main reading that you need to know about is a book called World Entertainment Media. And it's got a colon, and then it says Global, Regional, and Local Perspectives by Paulo Sigismondi, who's Brazilian. So this is a very interesting book that I've used once in my class this past summer. It worked very well because it doesn't just focus broadly on media from around the world. It looks at entertainment media, and almost everybody is an expert in entertainment media. One of the reasons that I went to Spain to begin with, believe it or not, can't even believe I'm admitting this, is because I watched Money Heist in the pandemic, and I said, wow, Madrid looks like a really cool city. I'd like to do that. And in fact, my wife and I, we booked our plane tickets in the pandemic, only $300 and something bucks to go to Europe. Amazing. Our flight meandered through Switzerland and ended up in Portugal, but then we flew to Spain, 45-minute plane flight for 22 euros. 22 euros is how much my plane flight was from Porto, Portugal to Madrid. And I went to Madrid largely because the show Money Heist, this show that swept Netflix, had such an impact on my impression of Spain. And that's the world we live in. We're interested in entertainment. You're interested in entertainment in your own ways. Some of you may be watching Mexican telenovelas, for example, or Brazilian telenovelas, the soap opera. We all get introduced to the world by media today, and that's what this book is focusing on, the entertainment dimensions of why we seek out media. The format of this class is an online format. I've got to fix the time here. I see I've got it as I'm speaking right now. It's not correct on my syllabus, but I'll fix it by the time you read it. Every day class is going to start at 5 p.m. and then you're going to have till 5 p.m. the next day to get it done. So 5 p.m. Wednesdays, 5 p.m. Fridays. You got to keep those dates in mind. That's when things are going to be due. All right, next up on the syllabus is departmental outcomes. I'm not going to go through these right here. These are standard for all of the courses that we teach in communication. So you should see these on all of your syllabi, no matter what your communication class is. And these 5 things are what bring us together as a united discipline, right? That's why we are a separate field, the field of communication. Course goals. There are several course goals. I'm going to let you look at these. I don't want to get too detailed in a video, but I want to tell you one, for example. We're going to compare how media entertainment content is delivered across different countries. How is it delivered? Is it delivered by satellite? Is it delivered by cable? Is it delivered by cell phone? Is it delivered by landline? Is it delivered by fax machine? Or it is still in some countries. We'll look at delivery systems. And that word compare, while we're on it, is a key word. It's a very key word to learning. I mean, that's how you learn whether you're tall or short. That's how you tell whether you are a picky eater or not a picky eater, by comparing yourself to others. And that's what we're doing in this class. We're going to compare media from around the world. We're going to see how these countries that we're taking a look at, we won't be able to look at 200 countries, but the ones that we're going to take a look at, including the U.S., we're going to see how they compare to others. That's how we learn. Anyway, you can read the rest of those course goals right there. All right, next up is the special accommodations statement on my syllabus. If you need special accommodations as are certified by OASIS, OASIS, the agency on campus that certifies those of you who need special accommodations, just present your documentation to me, and I will make the necessary accommodations that I need to for the assignment due dates and time lengths, etc. All right, now let's get into the course requirements now. This is really where the course lies. Let's really find out where your grade's going to come from. It's an online class. You got to stay on top of online classes. The biggest complaint that students have about online classes, and this was before the pandemic, maybe students have gotten really good at online classes now, but the biggest complaint they have is it's hard to self-discipline. It's hard to stay up on when things are due and remember and get things done. And it's about self-discipline, right? So you can set up your D2L so that you receive notifications about when things are due for the course. I realize it's annoying to you with these mosquitoes, but I'm not going to break my chain of thought just for some annoying nature's creatures. All right, so let me finish on here. So here's the course requirements. You want to stay up on the course, you want to do well, know what's due. The first assignment is discussion response posts. Discussion response posts. For this class, there are going to be 13 of them that you do, but I'm only going to count 12 of them. Therefore, I'm going to drop the lowest grade. 13, count 12. Each one is worth 2.5 points. 2.5 points. And that means in the total, in the end, each one is going to be worth 24 points total. Okay, so there will be 13 discussion posts. Now, what do those discussion posts consist of? They consist of answering a discussion question that I will ask. And the first one will be for today's reading. Wait, let me check real quick. Check. No, first one will be next class. Next class is our first chapter, so not for today. Next class is going to be our first chapter reading, and there will be a discussion question that I post, and then you're going to be answering that. I'll say more about it next class when it's right before that assignment is due. But you're going to have, remember, 13 of these throughout the course, and you'll get to drop one of them. So you got to stay up on those. They're going to be posted. The due dates for those are all posted on the syllabus as to when they're due. Then at the same time, you're going to have the other day of the week. So if you have Tuesday and we're doing discussion response posts, or Thursday and we're doing discussion response posts, the next class will be this next assignment, and that is country media posts. Country media posts, you're also doing 13 of those, also counting 12, also 2.5 points each, also for 24 points. Okay, what these are is you are researching your country's media system. You're researching Ireland's media system. You're researching France's media system. You're researching Argentina's media system, whatever your country is. And then you're going to post on that country a connection between the reading material that we're studying for that particular class and your country. So if we're talking about soap operas in Mexico, you're going to connect that somehow to soap operas in the country that you're studying. Those are going to be country media posts. Again, I'll say more about that when the first one is due. And those will be the alternating days of the class. That's it. Then also we have, as the other assignment, you can look at the next one as going together. It's really the research paper, but there's a subcomponent that's graded called a research proposal. As I'm talking about them right now, I see that the points don't add up, so I'm not going to say the points right now. I'm going to have to fix those before I post the syllabus. But these are going to be significant portions of your grade as well. The research proposal is designed to get you going on the research paper, make sure that you're going in the right direction, make sure that you're focused enough, make sure that you're answering what you're supposed to be answering. So I'll be having individual meetings with everybody in the class after I look at your research proposal. But that gets you started. Like any good study, you have a beginning, and then you come back and refine things, and then that's going to lead you to the pinnacle of your work in this class, the research paper. That's going to be that achievement of yours where you conduct your own research and you're going to compare two countries' media systems. You're going to compare that country you've been studying all semester long with another country. I haven't decided what that country is going to be yet, but this is going to be the pinnacle of the tools that you've learned for analyzing countries and the knowledge, and then you're going to put it forth in terms of your own creation of knowledge because it's your own research. After this, you'll see the grading scale on the syllabus. You'll see it's kind of standard for most people, what constitutes an A, a B, a C, a D, and an E. You can see it on there. You can read those numbers yourself. It's overall percentages in the class. That's what that refers to. All right, next up is a communication with the professor statement. So basically I'm saying when you send me an email, you got to use a salutation. That's what's expected because email is more formal. It's not totally formal, but it's more formal than texting. So we want to respect the medium. Make sure that we honor that medium. Make sure we send you out into the world using the correct lexicon of that medium. So you got to use a salutation. Hello, doctor, good afternoon, good morning, professor. Those are salutations. Don't just start off with, when is the assignment due? That's not a salutation. I've got a plagiarism policy as well in here in your discussion posts, your country media posts. You're not going to be cutting and pasting from the web, I hope, because if you do, that's plagiarizing. You're going to get burned. Now, of course, you can be citing things for your country media posts. You can cite, and we're going to want to see sources for where you're getting your information about your country's media system, but you're good to go if you cite your sources and you're not using too much source material in the statements you're making. That's plagiarism. If there are any cases, they have to be turned over to the Office of Student Conduct here. And then finally, I've got a Title IX statement. A Title IX statement makes sure that you know your rights if you feel that you're sexually or other harassed in the class in any way, shape, or form, what the procedure is for reporting that, and your safety protections. And then lastly on the syllabus, you can see the tentative schedule of events. This is where we're headed in the class. We've been through most everything we're going to go through today. For today, the very first day of class, we've got an introduction to the course. We've got an instructor introduction. We've assigned instructor CV questions. I've done that. I've assigned the student introductions. I've done that. We're going to ask you to select a country. That's something you'll have to do by 5 o'clock tomorrow, and that's going to wrap up our very first class. And the next class is going to be our first class using the chapter material. We're going to be looking at Chapter 1, so make sure you've got that book ready to go. You can get that book online, or you can get that from the university store. It's called Entertainment Media, Global Entertainment Media, and it's got chapters by many different authors with many different perspectives. We're going to be all over that book in this class. I hope you have a great first day if this is your first day of class, and I hope you have a great week here at East Stroudsburg University, back in action.